So the result's quite obvious.
And what results are those?
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Whatever he hits, he destroys indeed, and that has been pretty accurate for Alexander Volkov most recently, because the dude only has about 4.5 minutes of combined fight time throughout his last 2 UFC appearances, and they were 2 easy work first-round finishes, and most recently it was against Alexander Romanov, aka King Kong. He basically made King Kong look like he should be in Gamebred FC or somewhere far away from the UFC, because that was the easy light work for Volkov, and he did the same thing to Biggie Boy before that. And I know Biggie Boy was kind of protesting the stoppage, but that was a meat event, easy layup in the end for Volkov, and it's been really good stuff from him recently. And his only 2 recent losses are to Tom Aspinall, who is the GOAT, and Cyril Gane, who is basically back and is near that top conversation as well. So if you look at his last 2 losses, then, I mean, even if you keep going, Curtis Blades would be the other most recent loss. Volkov is a very tough guy, only loses to serious killers, and Bam Bam, meanwhile, I mean, we were talking earlier, who's had a more, like, interesting tenure, interesting UFC trajectory? This guy came into the UFC by storm, won 3 in a row, had a couple finishes, then he loses 3 in a row and was basically flirting with the other side of the promotion, but they gave him that 4th opportunity, and he rifles off 5 straight wins. But most recently, he's lost 2 straight, and he's got slept easy light work in both of those. Cyril Gane did it the first time in a hometown contest for Bongamin, and then most recently, and perhaps most concerningly, was Sergey Pavlovich, who slept him in under a minute. So what are your thoughts on this one? I mean, I've been watching Countdown, and physically, Tuivasa doesn't look that great. You wonder if he's going to get that 3rd straight L for a 2nd time in the UFC. I mean, if his history suggests anything, it suggests that this co-meet opportunity is going to be a bad idea against Volkov. So at -200, are you taking Drago, or do you see some YOLO Bam Bam meat value?
You know, I think this is a fake Drago lock, meaning this definitely is not a meat lock, but I think Drago is going to absolutely destroy Bam Bam. Bam Bam has that X Factor power we all know, but Drago's been really showing that he's leveled up, and unless you're Tom Aspinall or Cyril Gane or top 5 wrestler in, you know, the heavyweight division, you're not getting by Drago. Drago really is the pinnacle of levels test, and Bam Bam already couldn't hang with a few other of the higher tier level tests. So I think this is one of those level test locks that Drago is going to absolutely decimate and pull through once again.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. Not quite seeing it as a meat lock, but perhaps it is a Drago meat logo. And in this one, I think that Volkov is going to be able to get a finish in this one. I think Tuivasa is going to have a solid 3 minutes of gas tank, and he's going to be coming out swinging those wild YOLOs like he did against Pavlovich. But similar to how that fight went, I think that it's going to have a Biggie Boy-like ending where Drago just finds a way to get a finish in this one. I'd be very surprised if this fight does go the distance, but I also feel that the later this fight goes, the better it gets for Volkov anyways. So even if Volkov doesn't finish him in those first 3-4 minutes, I struggle to see a world where he loses a 2nd and 3rd round to Tuivasa. So I'm going to roll with Volkov. -200 is Meat Lago, Drago, and 67% is rolling with Volkov, 33% is rolling with Tuivasa. A lot of brown on both sides. You like the Drago finish?
Yeah, I like Drago finish. Decision could happen, but I think the finish is going to happen. I think it's going to be the 2nd or 3rd round, though. If it happens in the 1st round, props to Drago, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit later in the fight.
Yeah, 2nd round finish perhaps, but I'm with you all the way, meat boy. I don't see a world where Tuivasa gets this one done. But again, this guy does always have that swing from the hip YOLO power. I mean, he somehow did find a way to sleep Derek Lewis. He slept a couple other bumps before that, so maybe he's able to sleep Volkov, but I struggle to see a world where he does get that done. But we've also seen Volkov against Derek Lewis lose with literally 10 seconds left in the contest. So if somehow Bam Bam survives that long and somehow still has the power to land a YOLO, then Volkov is always susceptible. But I think the reach, I think the height, I just think the overall technical skill set of Drago is going to be too much for Tuivasa in this one. So any last thoughts on this one? Sounds like you both have Drago.
Yeah, definitely both got Drago. Those are comments you taking, and why? Smash me, subscribe, check out the other videos.